Hi folks, in this Unreal Engine tutorial we're going to study the texture transition in the animation sequence using keyframes. So let's dive in. Now as you can see, I've already imported my assets inside Unreal Engine with all textures, and also have made a sequence in which I animated the skylight and camera. And by switching the perspective to my animated camera, we've already set a perfect starting point for our purpose. Head over to your material and open the one you desire to apply the texture transition. Now in the material graph, I only want the base color texture to change during the animation. So go ahead and break its connection and click on the empty space while holding on L key to open a lab node, which stands for linear interpolation. Now connect the two of your textures to A and B inputs in lab node. After that, make a scalar parameter by clicking on the empty space while holding on S key. And rename it to whatever you prefer, then finally connect it to the alpha input in the lab node. We're going to control the transition by value of this scalar parameter. Apply the change and head over to your sequencer. Tap on the plus icon next to your model's name and add a static mesh component. Next, tap on its plus icon and under material parameters, select the one you just made the adjustments on. Again, tap on the plus icon and select the scalar parameter you renamed. As you can see, now we have a value in our sequencer by which we can animate our texture transition. Now we actually managed to get a transition animation for our material. But what if we wanted multiple textures in multiple materials to be animated by just one parameter? So this brings us to the next method, which is way more efficient than the previous one. To do that, jump over the materials graph and get rid of the scalar parameter. Go back and right click on the content browser and create a material parameter collection and rename it to TSW. Open its property editor and click on the plus icon for scalar parameter. And don't forget to rename the parameter. Up next, go to the materials graph and just right click and search for collection parameter. Go ahead and plug it to the alpha input in the lab node and select the collection we just created in the content browser. Apply the change and do the same process for all materials you want to be incorporated in the transition animation. Keep in mind that you can also include other textures like normal map, roughness map, or even metalness in this transition. And if you have more than 2 textures, you are allowed to use chain of lab nodes.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way, to win at life. I never miss, that's fact. Taking big
After that, head over to your sequencer tab and click on the add button to bring your material parameter collection inside the sequencer.
time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel?
Click on the plus icon next to it to add its scaler to the timeline. Now, as we did with the previous method, you can go ahead and set multiple keyframes for this value to animate this transition. And here's the magical transition we wanted to study and learn together. Imagine all the things you can do with textures like emissive, opacity, wireframe, alpha matte, and a bunch of other ones.
Feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy. Nah, bitch, I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily.
And yes, I like playing back and forth in the sequencer. Thank you for watching and stick around for upcoming tutorials.
Like memories after death, to be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath. I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill this